Okay, so everyone, we will get started in about 2 minutes, so you know. Just in case anyone's on right now, we will be getting ready in just a few minutes. Oops. All right, you guys, we are going to go ahead and get started. Just waiting for somebody to text me to make sure that you guys can hear me. One more second, just waiting for the text back. Let's see here. Oh, I think I just got my text. Okay, thank you, Lisa. Okay, so tonight our training, first of all, I just want to say welcome everybody to our monthly Team Go-Getters training. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your night away from your families to get on this webinar. I promise I will make it it will be worth it. So tonight is going to be, I know we've added so many new coaches. So first of all, I just want to say welcome to all the new coaches that have joined Team Go-Getters in the last couple months. Okay, thank you everyone. Now everyone's texting me, sweet. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure everyone could hear me because I'm new at using this Google Hangout. But anyways, so welcome all the new coaches. There's so many new coaches that have joined our team. So I'm so excited about that. And last month, we've had you guys just killed it in Success Club. So there's so many of you, and for all of you who want to see the names of the leaders on this team, we have the slides posted in the Team Go-Getters accountability group of all the people who have made Success Club this month and who were the top producers, the top recruiters, and all that stuff. I post the slides in there once a week. And just so you know, you could get a shout out too. I do Success Club shout outs once a week. You just have to go to the Team Go-Getters accountability group, and you just go to, on the top of the group, there's the big cover photo, and it has a link on there. It's tiny URL /TGG Success Club. I believe that's what the link is. If you click that, just update the document on Wednesday night. So it has to be done on Wednesday nights, okay? Because we do the slides, we create the slides on Thursdays. So just make sure you update the document before Wednesday at midnight, and you will get a shout out for your Success Club points once a week. All right, so other things I want to talk about before I get into the Mastering the Power Hour training that I planned is the 21-day fix extreme. So just in case you don't know, that was released yesterday and it is blowing it up. Okay, so many customers, so many of my customers, so many of my coaches' customers, so many coaches want to get their hands on this program, and a lot of them already have. So make sure, especially if you have any customers that were on the 21-day fix, let them know about this program because they might not know about it yet. Just because you posted on Facebook does not mean that they saw your post, okay? Because only, you know, if you posted at noon and they worked till 6, that would have been lost in the mix before they got home and checked their Facebook. So make sure that you are private messaging people who you think would be interested in this program and letting them know that it's on sale. So just in case you don't know, the 21-day fix and the 21-day fix extreme challenge packs are on sale for $140 in February. Okay, and why that is so cool is that Shakeology for a customer is $130. So they're getting these awesome workout programs, the meal plan, the shaker cup, the containers, all that stuff, the workouts, all that stuff for $10 essentially is what, because that pack is so incredibly discounted. So make sure that you are in the know with all of that. And for all the other updates, please watch our Team Go-Getters accountability group on Facebook, and also go into your online office, and there's like a little thing on the right-hand side that says breaking coach news. I think that's what it says. Anyways, it always has the new updates for what's going on in the network. Okay, so let's get to it, you guys. Because of the fact we're just like growing our team so quickly, and there's so many new coaches joining Team Go-Getters, I thought, what better webinar? There would be no better webinar than going over mastering the power hour, because there's so many coaches that join, and and just in case if you're a new coach listening to this, if you feel overwhelmed as a new coach, raise your hand. I just feel the energy of all the hands raising. And just so you know, and I told the new coach that I was on the phone with today, if you didn't feel overwhelmed, that would concern me, because that is normal. Every time you start something new that you have to learn that you've never done before, it's a little scary, it's a little overwhelming, but I promise you, this webinar is going to give you so much direction on what you need to do to be successful in your business. It's going to get you organized, it's going to ease your mind. It's just going to help you really figure out, okay, well, you know, I think I was thinking too deep into this. I don't think that this is going to be as difficult as I thought. So I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to go through a lot of how being extremely focused with the basics is the secret to this business. So what the focus, okay? I remember Trina Gray said this at a training, and I just thought, oh my God, I love that saying because it's so true, especially for somebody like me. Just so you guys know, I am not somebody who's super focused. I'm not somebody who's super organized. You know, I'm like shiny objects. You know, I lose focus very quickly. But I learned very quickly that if I wanted to get my work done and if my goals meant a lot to me, I would find a way. I wasn't going to let my dinging of my phone or somebody walking in the room or The Bachelor or, you know, whatever, going out with my friends to distract me. I really loved what this opportunity was about. I loved what corporate's all about. I loved, you know, the passion and the mission. And I really was like, dude, if I can make this work for me, this would be my dream job. And then I started stalking all these other top coaches, and I was like, okay, seriously, if they can do this, why not me? So please write that down if you're taking notes. And I hope that you're taking notes because I'm going to give you a lot of really good nuggets tonight. So I hope you are taking notes, but write that down. Why not you? Why not you? This business does not play favorites. And I say that on every single call that I speak on because I just want to drill it in everyone's head, because every single one of you can be successful, extremely successful at this business. You just have to believe that there's not like some secret sauce, and there's not just certain people who have a certain characteristic or a certain skill that makes them extremely good at this. Everything that it takes to be good at this business is learnable. So as long as you're teachable, then you will be able to learn these skills and you can be successful. The sky is the limit. You can do anything with this opportunity. It's up to you. The power is in your hands. And what does it take? It takes focus. So when you are sitting down, and I'm going to give you all the things that I do on a daily basis and all the things that the top coaches on Team Go-Getters do on a daily basis, I'm going to go through all of that stuff tonight. But before I go through the basic to-dos, I need you to learn on what you need to do before you even start working on those to-dos with your business. So here's some ways to get really focused when you sit down and you start working your business. Silencing your notifications during your business hours. So let's backtrack actually. First of all, you need to decide how many hours are you willing to put into this business. Think about that and write that number down. I will tell you, I put in my first year, I started in the last quarter of 2009, and I really started to gain some traction around January 2010. And so I said to myself, okay, I got to revamp my goals. I kind of get how to do this now. I asked Janelle, tell me what I got to do, and I'll do it. I'll do whatever it takes because I have big goals to quit my full-time job to be at home with my son. And so she gave me everything I'm about to tell you tonight. This is what she told me I had to do, and I was willing to do that. So I decided to put in 3 to 4 hours a day into my business because I was so determined to be at home with my son. So for those who do not know me, or know my backstory, of course, I'm sure you know me. My name's Mindy Wender, and I'm Superstar Diamond. I'm pretty sure that you know me because I invited you to this webinar. But I'm saying about my story. In case you don't know my story, I was working overtime I was an office manager at my dad's business in our small town, and my husband was laid off. We were broke. I was stressed. I was insecure. I was not working out, all of these things. And I became that nagging wife, always trying to be on my husband for getting a job, and we got to do something, how we were going to pay our bills. And the reason why I was so stressed out though is because I had to leave my baby, and luckily it was with my mother, who, obviously I trust with my life, with my kid's life. Of course, she's a great grandmother. And so I knew my son was in good hands, but I wanted to be there. I wanted to see his first. I didn't want to miss the first words, the first time he crawled, the first time he walked. And that's what was happening. And so when January 2010 came around, I was determined. There was nothing that I could not lose my focus, because being at home with my son, building a 6-figure business, going diamond, going star diamond, building a strong foundation, all of these things were so much more important than my excuses, than my doubts, than my fears, than going out with friends, than watching The Bachelor, than watching The Real Housewives. All of these things were, being at home with my son and creating a life that I could design, and hours that I got to set my own hours. That to me was more important. So Dave Ramsey says this all the time. You have to live like no one else now so you can live like no one else later. So for this year in 2015, what I'm going to ask of you is that you live like no one else. You are going to have to make some sacrifices with your business. You are going to have to learn some skills that you may not be strong at, and that's okay. You are going to have to, maybe you're not into reading books. You are going to have to pick up a book and read some personal development. Okay, so there are going to be things that you have to do, but trust me, it will be worth it. Let's just say your goal is not to quit your full-time job. That's okay, but wouldn't you want the options? Don't you want the options so you can create the life that you want to live? And I say this all the time, and when I post pictures of me working out whenever I feel like it, or me getting to go to my son's school plays and whatever for like their Christmas plays or whatever, or me getting to stay at my daughter has autism, so I stay at home and we do at-home therapy with her, and I get to be present in all that kind of stuff and work with her and give her all that time and energy. That's #life by design, and that's what you need. You deserve that. You need that. You create your own hours. You create your own life. Okay. So when you sit down and you're working on those business hours, you have to set business hours. I said that I work 3 to 4 hours a day on my business. So how many hours did you write down? When are you planning on working those hours? Write that down, or put it on there that you have to write this down later. So write down, when are your business hours? When are you going to work on your business? Is it going to be in the morning before anyone wakes up? Because it has to be a time that you can be focused where you're not going to have interruptions. So you need to silence your notification during your business hours. You need to turn your phone on airplane mode. Oops, I wrote more there. Sorry, typo. Airplane mode. So you don't have a bunch of distractions. Don't get lost in your cousins, sisters, friends' photo albums. When you're on Facebook, how many can say, and if you're being honest, how many of you can say that you can get lost in newsfeed or in, oh my God, I don't even know this person. How did I get here 3 hours later? That's wasting your time, and that you could be spending building a 6-figure business, changing lives. Okay, so don't get lost in the mix. Have your to-do list right in front of you. I had a desktop computer that was slapped right on top of my dresser in my bedroom because we didn't have a desk, and my mother-in-law gave us her old computer, and it was this old desktop computer, and then behind it I had this cheap little dry erase board that I wrote my to-do list on. So when I sat down at my computer, I got focused. I said, okay, I'm not doing anything else until this to-do list is done. I am not going to bed. I am not going to stalk people on Facebook. I'm not doing anything until my to-do list is done. And that's how you got to get a timer. A lot of people, I personally have never used this, but a lot of people, like I believe Mindy Lawhorn gave me this tip when I was a newer coach, is she said, okay, I'm going to give myself, she had a timer and she gave herself 15 minutes for one thing on her list, 20 minutes for another. So she figured out how much time she was working on her business, whether it be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and then she did the timer and broke it down into little blocks of time. So you could get a timer if that would help you, and get organized and get focused. But first, okay, so before we go into the actual to-dos, here's some things like we just went over. Be focused. Number 2 is probably, if there was a secret to my business, I believe that it would probably be consistency, because you cannot be successful with this if you do it an hour here this week. It would be like just like fitness. So think of it this way. If you want to lose 20 pounds, and let's just put in a week, okay? Not lose 20 pounds in a week, but let's just look at your week of workouts and eating clean. So if you were to work out really hard for 2 hours, 2 full hours on Monday, but then skip all the rest of your workouts and ate like crap the rest of the week, do you think that at the end of the week you would have had progress? Just because you did a lot of stuff on Monday, but you did nothing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So do you think you would have progress? Probably not. You have to do the little, simple, basic to-dos every single day consistently, and over time you see results. This business is exactly like hitting your fitness goals. Okay? So, okay, so be consistent. So whatever I'm telling you, you have to do these things every single day without skipping a beat. Of course, if you get sick or whatever, of course you're, whatever, but it's just like your workouts. I feel like when I miss 2 days of workouts, of doing my workout, I feel like I'm so off my game. On that 3rd day, it takes like somebody pushing me to press play. Like I need Tony Horton in my face, getting me out of bed, getting me to my DVD player, putting on my shoes and pressing play. It's so hard. So I personally try not to miss more than, if I have to, if I'm sick or something like that. Of course, if I can't work, then I won't work. But I try not to miss a day of my to-do list. Even if I do the absolute minimum and only get an hour in, I always finish my to-do list for my business, because it's consistency. And the best part about consistency, and the best part about consistency is you start to build momentum. You start to build momentum. So you do all these little tiny things now, and you might not see a ton of results in your first 30 days. And then your second 30 days, that momentum starts to build, and you continue to be consistent. So you start to see more results. And in that 3rd month, more results. 4th month, even more results. And then it just will blow your mind. It's the big mo. And that big mo will continue to grow and grow and grow, okay? The only way it will stop growing is if you stop working. So always be consistent, and you're going to build momentum in your business. It will only get easier. This business will only get easier for you as continue to do these basic things over and over and over. Be determined. Don't let any negative thought, fear, anything get in your way. Get so determined. And the next one is, but most of all, you must believe 100%. If you don't believe that you can be successful at this and you're like, oh, I'm going to put a toe in, and if this works, then I'll put both feet in and go for it and be determined. I'm going to ask you to just it would be a waste of your time to just have a toe in. Jump in with both feet, get focused, get determined, and start believing that you can and you will succeed in this. You have to believe in the company, believe in the products, believe in your team, believe in yourself. Most importantly, you must believe for all of this to work. Okay. And that's when personal development really, really pays off in your mindset. I also have a training called 21 Days to Thrive. If you go to mindywenderfitness.com/21 Days to Thrive, I think that's the link. So mindywenderfitness.com/21 Days to Thrive. That is a video training series. That's, of course, 21 days. And I go through how to get over your fears, get over your doubts, get over your insecurities, and bust through all that stuff, move outside your comfort zone, and become a goal crusher. So I teach you how to change your mindset, become more positive, and start setting goals, manifesting those goals, and all that stuff. I go over all of that in 21 days. So that's if you have fears and you have insecurities, that might be something to look into as well. And then the last one on this slide is your thoughts, words, and beliefs create your reality. So that can either work for you or against you. So your thoughts, think about what are your thoughts regarding your business and your performance? What are your thoughts? What do you speak out loud? Are you making up excuses? Are you complaining? Are you saying I probably am not going to be able to do this? Like, what are the words that you're speaking about this? And what are your beliefs? Do you actually believe that you can and you will do this? Because you can, but it's up to you to change your thoughts, words, and beliefs, because whatever those are, it will become your reality. That is how you create your reality. So let's get into the meat of this. Number one, grow your network. Okay, so number one, this is really important because if you skip number one, number two, number three, number four, number five, etc., will not work. Okay, so as a new coach, so anyone who's on here that's a newer coach, I want you to first make a list of 100 names. So of course, a great way to do this is open up your Facebook. See who's your friend on Facebook, and then also I would like you to take a pen and paper out and brainstorm and just brain dump a list of 100 people, okay? If those people aren't on your Facebook yet, reach out to them and add them on your Facebook. So think of like college roommates or people you went to high school with or whatever, and start adding them as a friend and start reconnecting with them. So go through your Facebook friends list and start connecting with them by commenting on their pictures and maybe sending them a private message and asking them what's new with them, that kind of stuff. So basically, if you are, and this is kind of like a social media nerdy type tip, okay? So it's not anything to do with relationships, but it's about how Facebook works. Like it's almost like Google. So if you want to get more, the people who you want to reconnect with who are already on your Facebook page, they might not be seeing your posts. But if you go to their page and you start commenting on their stuff, liking their stuff, doing those things, they will see more of your posts in their newsfeed. Because Facebook sees, oh, these people are connecting. This person comments on this person post. So they must be friends. So they probably want to see more of each other's content. That's how Facebook sees that. So if you want your current friends to see more of your stuff, go through and start commenting and liking and connecting with them. Also reconnect with them, like I said, through a private message, of course, asking them what's new with them and all that kind of stuff. Then, or I shouldn't say then, because at the same time, you want to be meeting new people. So your goal, please write this down, is add 3 new people per day on social media. So you need to grow your network by 3 people a day on social media. How do you do that? Okay, well, here's some tips. You can go to different groups and like pages and just start mingling. So what I did is I made a list of 10 or 5 to 10 things that I was interested in. Of course, I was thinking fitness minded because I wanted to connect with some fitness minded people or people who wanted to lose weight, people who I felt that I could really serve. But other than that, I was also, I'm also part of a lot of Walt Disney World groups because, of course, I'm obsessed with Disney World. So I connect with a lot of people in Disney World groups because we have that in common. So you want to connect with like-minded people who have things in common with you, whether that be going to Jillian Michaels' page or finding groups on new moms, or if you're into like the all natural holistic stuff, finding groups about that, whatever it is you're into, start connecting with those people. That's one way. And then remember, again, you reap what you sow. If you want more comments, then comment on more people's stuff. If you want more likes, like more people's stuff, and so on and so forth. And then another great way to connect with new friends is when you are going to reconnect with your current friends. And like I said, going to comment on something they post. They're going to have other people commenting on their stuff too. And so let's just say you comment on somebody's stuff and another girl commented too. You could click that person and notice that she has a daughter the same age as you, or their son's also in karate and your son's in karate or something like that. You see like, oh, okay. So add that person as a friend. You could add that girl as a friend, send them a message and just simply say, hey, don't think I'm a weirdo or anything. I just saw you on blah, blah, blah's page, and I noticed that we have both of our sons are around the same age, and they're both in karate, so I just thought I'd say hi. And whatever, and some of them are not going to add you as a friend, but a lot of them will. So that's just another way to meet new people, is to connect with people who have mutual friends with you. Now, there was one thing I want to say is that Facebook does frown upon if you add too many new friends at one time. They'll see you as like a spammer or fake account or something like that. So just be careful. And I always just track the people that I add. And if I don't see that they've added me back, I will just go and delete that friend request like in a couple days. If, maybe a week, I give them a week. And if I haven't seen that they accepted the friend request, I'll delete that friend request. I just go back to that person's page and you can click to remove that friend request. Number 2, return all messages. So the reason why I put this on here is because I want to make sure that you're returning all messages within 24 to 48 hours, but also really quickly, only focus on the emails and messages that are regarding your business during your business hours. So I made this mistake when I sat down to work on my business, and I would go through all my messages, and a lot of my messages were just nothing about my business. So I would get into a conversation on Facebook with somebody, and it could go on and on and on, and I would lose so much focus. So if you don't know this already, it's I heard Chalene Johnson say this before. When you sit down to work on your business and you get into this like creative mode, and you have this momentum going, and you're kicking butt, getting all your stuff done. When somebody walks in the room and interrupts you, it literally takes you 15 minutes to get back to the zone, get back to your focused work zone. So when you're same thing with the message, if you're messaging something that has nothing to do with your business hours and your business, it will just throw you off track. Number 3, 3 shares per day. So what is 3 shares? Talk to 3 people per day about the following: either the business, the products, your challenge groups, Shakeology, something to do with your business. So what I do is I would not go to bed. I do not go to bed until I've talked to 3 people every single day about one of those things. I just don't. And when you have that mindset and that mentality throughout the day, you're always thinking, okay, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. I can't go to bed until I get this done. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you get 3 people throughout the day, talk to them about one of these things. Does that mean that they have to buy it from you? No. Does that mean that you have to, do this big, long conversation? No. Just mention one of these things, or invite them to your challenge group, or invite them to watch a What is Coaching YouTube video or something like that. It doesn't have to be like something that takes so much time. You can get all of these things done in an hour. That's why it's called the Power Hour to-do list. And I'm going to explain more on how the Power Hour to-do list works. because most of you are wanting to grow this faster. So you probably spend closer to 2 to 4 hours, maybe more on your business a day. Again, I spent 3 to 4 hours a day. I shot for Success Club 10 every single month. I was very consistent, and I just talked to more people. And in January 2010, I was earning $0, $14, $20, $0. It was not consistent. And by the end of 2010, I was earning over $1,000 a week and was able to quit my full-time job. Okay? So I'm not saying that you have to work 3 to 4 hours, but I just want you to know what's possible. So if you want to earn more than $1,000 a week by the end of a year, get more focused, because maybe you can do more in your business hours than I was able to accomplish. There's so much more training. There's so many more tools. There's challenge packs, all of those things we didn't have when I first started. So you have that advantage. So you could outdo that number, but otherwise just talk to more people, spend more time on your business, and you will grow your business faster. Now, the last thing is very important. So please be listening. Make sure that you talk to 3 to 5 people per week about the business at a minimum. So if you want your business to be moving forward, you must be presenting the business or explaining what coaching is about, however you want to word it, to 3 to 5 people a week. Okay? And if you want to grow your team faster and get to diamond faster, then up that number. That's how simple this business is. It's not easy. This business is not easy, but it's just basic things that are easy to do and also easy not to do. But the choice is yours. So look how easy this is. If you want to grow your team faster, just talk to more people. So instead of 3 to 5, do 10 to 20. If you want to grow really, really quickly, do 20 people a week. Of course, your business is going to grow a lot faster. And the one thing that I want to share, something I learned very early on from Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn, in the audio program that I listened to, was called Building Your Network Marketing Business. And it's an audio program by Jim Rohn, and it's available on iTunes for like $4. And I was listening to that, and he was talking obviously about network marketing. And he said, on average, especially for somebody new, you get 1 yes out of every 10 people that you talk to. And so his message was, don't get discouraged when you get a no. A no does not mean that this person doesn't want anything to do with you or it's nothing about you. Don't take it personally. And that person, especially with health and fitness, just means not right now. You know how that is with fitness. It has to be the perfect timing for you to start up a new program or to start up a new business, okay? So that when you get a no, just think, that's cool, and keep connecting with that person. Don't get upset. Don't get discouraged. On to the next. You have to go for no, because the sooner you get 9 no's, that yes is going to be right around the corner. So if that's true, if you get 1 yes, at a minimum 1 yes for every 10 people you talk to, and you want to add, let's just say you want to add, well, I don't know, if you want to add 5 coaches in February. In February, you would have to talk to 50 people. Does that make sense? So when you get really good at it, that number will change to 2 yeses for 10 business presentations. Do you see how this works? It's not easy, but it is simple. It is a numbers game. Okay? So make sure that you talk to, at a minimum, 3 to 5 people a week about the business opportunity. Oh, sorry, this picture is a little distorted, but so this is a great picture that kind of explains how this can really work, okay? So the power of sharing on social media, it says, which is great, but I want to just use this picture as growing your team. Why is it important to grow your team? So I know as a new coach, what I started focusing on, because I had no idea what I was doing, I started focusing on sales, because I just thought, okay, I'll focus on sales. But what I realized very quickly, because very thankful that Janelle shared this information with me early on, is that I am one person and I can help a ton of people, right? I can help a ton of people. But what if I added people to my team and trained them exactly how to do what I'm doing. They will be able to create a business and financial, an income for their family. So they can, first of all, as a coach, you feel like when you join as a coach, you want to practice what you preach. So this new coach is definitely going to be more committed to her health and fitness. So boom, check one goal. I'm serving another human being, right? Number two, I'm creating an income for their family. Well, they are creating an income for their family. And three, by that one person, I'm able to serve so many more people that I may have never been in contact with otherwise. You're one person and you can help a lot of people. But when you start growing your team and training your team to be like little mini yous, and they start growing their team and they start growing their team, and so on and so on and so on. And look at this picture. That's exactly what will happen for your business. So why is it important to grow to go Emerald? So at first, as a coach, because I know there's a lot of new coaches on this call, as a coach, you earn something called retail sales commission, and you earn 25% commission. Sweet, right? And we all want to serve people in our challenge groups. That is amazing. I want you guys to always have a goal to help 3 to 5 people a month to get into your challenge groups and help them get financial or to get fit and healthy. Okay. That's obviously our goal. That's part of being a coach. It's our responsibility as a coach is to do this. Okay. That is why we join, to serve other people. And then the other part of it, when you go Emerald and you add 2 new people to your team, right? 2 new active people to your team, you will become Emerald and you will start earning a new way. So you'll still earn retail sales commission, but you will also earn something called Team Cycle Bonus. So for all of your newbies, Team Cycle Bonus is when, see those little guys, the black ones, the blue ones, and all of those people are doing, you're training them on how to do exactly what you're doing. They're hosting challenge groups. They're training their team to host challenge groups. They're adding coaches. How many lives you are changing is one thing, but all of that volume that they create, that you and your team create, you will get paid for in Team Cycle Bonus. So when I talk about why it is so important to grow a team, that's where that 6-figure income, that residual income will come into play when you focus on growing your team. Okay, so I hope that made sense, and we can go on and on and on about this. I just wanted to give you the gist, basic information. I would go to our team training site and watch a training by Janelle. It's called Team Cycle Bonus, explained by Janelle Summers. And again, that's on our team training site, teamgogetterstraining.com. Now let's move forward. Follow-up and tracking. So if you don't track, you will forget. Because I remember as a new coach, I was like, dude, I'm pretty sure I'm obsessed with the people I talk to. There's no way I'm going to forget anything. And you want to remember everything, but you're talking to so many people and helping so many people. What would it hurt to track all of this so you don't forget anything? You don't forget to follow up. You don't forget anything about their personal story or their goals. So I have always had a spreadsheet, and now I created my own spreadsheet in Evernote, and I've always tracked everything. I track the people I talk to about the business. I track who I talk to about challenges. I talk to the people who I make sales to. I talk to, all of this stuff gets tracked. The new people I'm connecting with on social media, like my new friends that I'm connecting with. I track it all. So it's really important to do that, because you could miss out on changing somebody's life. Also, you can't follow up with those people unless you track. Now, there's a saying out there called "the fortune is in the follow-up," and I have to say I didn't believe that. But then in July 2010, I was doing really good, you guys. I was doing my Power Hour to-do list. I was doing being very consistent. I was doing my workouts, Shakeology, leading by example, and growing my team. I was doing it all. And all of a sudden, July hit, and I was like, Janelle, what's going on? I'm scared. I'm not adding coaches like I normally do, and I hope I'm not doing anything wrong. And so I connected with her, and she said, well, I doubt you're doing anything wrong. And we had like a fast track tracking team where we'd get on the phone every Sunday and we track our, present our progress for the week. She's like, but I know how many people that you're talking to about the business. So I agree with you. That is weird. So I have to ask you, are you following up with all those people that you've talked to in the last 6 months, 7 months, since, January? And I was like, yeah, I don't think so. She's like, why don't you try that? And so I did that, and I added 10 coaches in 1 week. So what did that do? That was awesome, right? But it made me realize, and it gave me a reality check that I wasn't following up. So the fortune is in the follow-up, you guys. You have to be following up between 24 to 48 hours. Follow up with people. And then you have to be tracking. So when July hits this year and you want to follow up with people, you can go all the way back to January into February to follow up with people. You can go back to December if you were a coach in December. You could go back to whatever and follow up with all these people and see what's going on with them, what's new with them. I don't want you to follow up and say, hey, I was wondering if you want to join my team now. Are you ready now? Are you ready now? Obviously, that's not what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is that you could say, hey, I saw that you posted this thing about your daughter and doing ballet, and I just thought it was so cute, and it just reminded I haven't talked to you in a while, so what's new? Just shoot them a message. Be very natural. And then, if you have a webinar coming up that it's explaining coaching and that's what you guys were talking about, just when she replies back, just say, answer her reply and comment back, and then just say, oh, and you want to know what? I just have to say, I know before we were talking about coaching, you said timing wasn't great or whatever, but if you change your mind, there is a webinar tonight, and I would love to send you the link to that if you're interested. It's only going to be like a 30-minute webinar, and there's going to be one coach explaining their story and explaining the details about coaching. Let me know if you're interested. If she is, yes, great. If not, move on. That's okay. You followed up. So she feels special that you still are thinking about her, and you still think that she would be great at this. And then track with something called the Power of Threes, which I will be posting in the Team Go-Getters accountability group after this call. It's called the Power of Threes tracking sheet. I'm going to post that. I'm going to post the tracking spreadsheet that Janelle made that I used for 2 years. And then Evernote, I'm not going to post that because I just have the same exact thing as the spreadsheet in Evernote. I just created it myself. Or you can always use the note card system or a notebook. And that's where you're just, I don't know, I'm just not the type of person that needs to write it down in a notebook or do the note card thing. It's just not my thing. I would never keep up with that. But I know a lot of people, I think my sister Jackie uses the notebook system, and she just, does the same exact thing as a Power of Threes tracking spreadsheet or Evernote. She just does it in a notebook. So figure out what works for you and what you will actually do and follow through with, and then pick that. Grow and lead by example. Personal development, I can't even tell you guys, I cannot even tell you how important personal development is. Some books that I would recommend are The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, The Magic of Thinking Big, The Secret, I'm trying to think of a couple other ones, The Compound Effect, what's that network marketing one? GoPro is a good one. And then there's one that my interns are reading. It's Your Network Marketing Business, but it's probably not that. I'll think of it and I'll post it in a second. I'm trying to pull up my Kindle so I can see it here, but I can't remember. I'll tell you in a second. But those are some books, but also I want you to read 10 pages a day. So have that be your goal. It's only 10 pages. So read 10 pages a day and listen to 15 minutes of audio a day. Can you do that? It's Rock Your Network Marketing Business, by the way, by Sarah Robbins. Rock Your Network Marketing Business. That is a great book. I could go on and on. Let me just do one more. It's The Go Giver by Bob Berg. And it's The Go Giver with a V by Bob Berg. Okay, I'll stop. I could go on and on. But those things, so I want you to listen to 15 minutes of audio a day and read 10 pages of personal development a day. And that is a must. Doing this, if you aren't doing this and you grow a team, your team won't do this. If you aren't adding people to your network, your team will not add people to their network. If you're not adding coaches to your team will not add coaches to their team. The speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. Okay, so you need to be leading by example, getting your workouts in, doing Shakeology, drinking Shakeology every single day, doing your personal development, and just leading by example and being a person that would inspire other people. Okay. So even if you're not that go-to, I know when I joined, I was not a go-to fitness person. I was not somebody that was always posting positive stuff on social media. That just wasn't me. So I had to ease people into the new person I was growing and becoming. You know, they didn't see me as that go-to person, but now they do. And they did very, you know, I wouldn't want to say it was overnight, but within my first year, within my first probably 3 to 6 months, people were starting to see me as that go-to person. Okay. And then try to simply inspire somebody daily, whether you shoot somebody a text message, comment on somebody's post, shoot somebody a message on Facebook, send an email, whatever it is, call somebody, try to inspire somebody every single day. Remember, you reap what you sow. So if you inspire somebody, you're going to just get all of that back tenfold. Okay. And then be social, post 2 to 3 times per day on social media. Okay. If you don't post at all right now and people aren't used to seeing you posting, then start with 1 time a day and then move into 2 to 3 times a day. Okay. And then make sure you follow the 80-20 rule when you're when you're posting on social media. What does that mean? So 80% personal and 20% can be business related. And when I say business related, I don't ever want you to post spammy stuff like, oh my gosh, if you guys are interested in buying the Shakeology from me, just click this link. Anybody interested in buying this? Like those things just people do not want to be sold. You have to, and great people to follow some people who do it right on social media. So follow people like, you know, Brandy Botts. Brandy Botts is a good friend of mine. She's on our team. She's one of the top coaches on our team. And Brandy Botts, how she talks when you're in person with her is how she posts. Brandy would never walk up to some stranger at a coffee shop and say, hey, I was just wondering if you wanted to buy Shakeology. Here's my link. Oh my God, no way. So she would never post that. She's very, in the way she does do business posts, but she eases it in there. Okay, so she's not just like, she's not being salesy or icky or gross. I want you guys, and if you're not like Brandy, of course, Brandy isn't her own person. So I'm not saying to just go copy everything Brandy does, but get ideas from some of the top coaches and how and some top coaches don't run their business, their social media the way that I would want you to follow because they build their business a different way, and that's okay. But some great people, like I said, Brandy Botts, Melanie Mitro, Lindsay Matway, Jackie Buchanan. I'm trying to think of other ones. Andrea Crowder, Joelle Matson. Who else? There's so many. Wait, I have some. Okay. Oh, Micah Folsom, Tara Bilek. And that's good for now. But so just follow some of these people on their like pages, on their profile pages, and see how they're wording their posts. And some of their posts might not have a lot of likes, so you might want to go and see what posts are working for them. And then just don't copy it. Just try to be yourself, be you, be real, be funny, post pictures that are eye-catching. Okay, so I could go on and on about social media, so I'll digress. But there's so many trainings on teamgogetterstraining.com on social media, so I hope you check those out. Post in your groups that you are hosting. So if you have a challenge group or a free clean eating group or whatever, post in those groups. Comment on other statuses that you are connecting with. You guys know that. We already talked about that. Post 2 to 3 times per day on other social media sites, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever. And then stay plugged in. This is crazy, but like I can just tell when somebody is not plugged in because they ask me questions, like my personally sponsored coaches will ask me questions. And I'm like, seriously, I know that you don't read my emails or don't go into the Facebook team page because I just posted that today or I just sent that email and it answered that exact question. And so it's like, you come to me and you want all this help from me. Why, I don't know why this isn't working or whatever. And I can just tell because they're not plugged in is number one. And if they're not plugged in, they're probably not doing a lot of the other things on the Power Hour to-do list. Okay. So stay plugged in, get on the training calls. Like, congratulations that you're on this call live. Congratulations, because that is the first step to getting plugged in and getting in the know about everything, and getting your team plugged into these things. If you're not getting on the training calls, your team won't get on the training calls. Check the online office daily. So always be staying connected there, checking if you have any new customers, new coaches, emailing anybody you need to email from there, checking your team and making sure they're okay, seeing if there's any new updates from Beachbody. Just always make it a habit to go check your online office daily. And I have coaches that say, that'll do, something and then, lose their rank. And then they message me and they're like, Mindy, I didn't even know that was happening. And so that's another red flag for me, that they're not staying plugged in, because they should have been checking their online office on a daily basis. Checking your team Facebook page. Team Go-Getters Accountability is my team page. You guys are all welcome to be a part of that. So make sure you're staying connected in there. You can ask questions. There's support. I always post when we have training calls, or if I have something on my heart that I want to share that I feel is inspiring, I will post it directly to that page. So I don't know, there's a lot of coaches on Team Go-Getters that are not on that page. So I highly recommend you get plugged into our team page. Check and open emails from your upline. If you have your own team, then tweak the email and send them to your own coaches. So yes, if I send you a weekly team email or whatever email, tweak it and make it your own and send it to your team, so your team doesn't just get a forwarded email from me. They see that you're their leader and you're acting like their leader. And then here's the Power Hour to-do list. I will be posting this in Team Go-Getters Accountability Group. So again, another reason why you need to be in there, so you're in the know. But I will be posting this so you can print it off, put it on your background, whatever you want to do, so here's what I need to do on a daily basis. The Power Hour to-do list. And I'll just go through this. The basics, the power of threes. Add 3 new people to your network. Invite 3 people to your next challenge group. Share 3 times per day. Invite at least 3 people weekly to learn about the opportunity. Grow and lead by example. Number 1, read and listen to personal development. Do your workout, drink Shakeology, inspire somebody. Post, track, and connect. Post in all your groups that you have. Return all messages. Post on Facebook 2 to 3 times a day. Post on other social media sites 2 to 3 times per day. Comment on other statuses, who you are connecting with. Be social. Follow up with people within 24 to 48 hours. Plug in. Check the online office. Get on calls if there is any. Check in team Facebook page. Okay, it's as simple as that, you guys. And I'm going to end at least these slides with, if you really want to do something, I'm gonna start this over. If you really want to do something, you will find a way. If you don't, you will find an excuse. And again, I love Jim Rohn. Anything he has to say, I am like obsessed with. He's a great, great person to start reading, listening to his audio programs. There's an audio program that I listened to that was like life-changing. It was called Living an Exceptional Life, I believe. And it was like a bunch of discs, whatever. Anyways, that was awesome. But I'm going to read this one more time. If you really want to do something, you will find a way. If you don't, you will find an excuse. And that is the truth. So if you guys really want this business to work and you really want to quit your jobs, if you really want to become financially independent, all of those things, if you really, really want those things, you will find a way, okay? So when you start to hear your thoughts or your words or your beliefs start to make up excuses, shut those voices up, knock it off, and start replacing those things with positive affirmations. So Brandy Bott said this on a webinar the other day when she said, your brain doesn't know the difference. So start every single day with positive thoughts. Like, I'm going to connect with so many amazing people today. I'm going to earn Success Club this month. I'm a diamond coach. And just talk to yourself as if your goals are already your reality, and they will become your reality. And it's going to feel weird at first, and you might not believe them at first. I was so far the person who I was 5 years ago is completely opposite to the person who I am today. So It's gonna take some work if you're anything like me, and maybe you're not in the same spot, but if you're anything like me, it's probably gonna take some work to replace those old negative thoughts you used to have. And that's okay, but keep working at it. I start off every single day with rereading my goals. I write my goals once a week on Sunday, and I reread them every day. I write down my positive affirmations, and I do my personal development. Because as human beings, we start out every single day naturally on the negative. And so it's up to you to replace that with positive and just keep working at it, reminding yourself when you start to complain or get angry or get discouraged, remind yourself, put your earphones in, listen to some personal development, and change those thoughts, okay? So I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to get on this webinar tonight. I will post the recording in our Team Go-Getters accountability page. I will post that picture there, and I will post those tracking sheets that I mentioned during the webinar. Make sure if somebody on your team was unable to get on this training, you send them the link to this to the recording, especially new coaches, because this was a great refresher for you older coaches and a great webinar to help your new coaches feel less overwhelmed and give them some direction. All right, you guys, have a great night, and we will do our next training on the first week of March, okay? The first Tuesday of March, so mark your calendars, okay? Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.